Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Story of Sam and welcome back to a brand new NBA video today here on the channel. And right now I'm going to go over my top 10 most underrated players in the 2021 NBA season. If you guys are brand new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. And of course guys, make sure to hit that like button down below. That helped me out a ton. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. These players are ranked 10 through 1 strictly on how underrated I think they are. So the number 9 player on this list could be a better overall player than the number 1 player on this list, but it's all about how underrated I think they are in the NBA. So of course, the number 1 spot is going to be, in my opinion, the most underrated player in the league. And we're going to get right into our number 10 spot, and that is Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz. Now, Jordan Clarkson this season is having a great season, probably the front runner for the 6th Man of the Year award. He's averaging 18 points a game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 45% from the field, 37% from 3, and a league best 97% from the free throw line. Just absolutely insane. Probably his best season of his career. He's been great all around for the Utah Jazz, helping out Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt, and I think he has gotten a little bit underrated this season just because he doesn't usually put up numbers like this. Moving on to the number 9 spot, last year this player might have been a lot higher, but it is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's having a great season. He was named to his first All-Star game this year. He can score the ball, dribble the ball. He can really do it all on both ends of the floor. He's a really well-rounded shooting guard, and I think he's been a little bit underrated just because he's playing alongside Jason Tatum. And honestly, this season there have been some stretches where it looks like Jaylen Brown is the best player on the Boston Celtics. Of course, Jason Tatum is still the best player on the team, but there have been some times where people have been questioning who is the best player on the Celtics, and I feel like people don't really give enough credit to Jaylen Brown. It's all about Jason Tatum. They play similar styles. They're both two-way wings, so they're kind of like a younger, slightly worse version of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Both two-way wings. One's a shooting guard, one's a small forward. They're both kind of like that similar. Of course, Jaylen Brown's having a great year his first All-Star season, 24 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists on 49% from the field, 38% from 3, and 77% from the line. Moving on to the number 8 spot, we have Kyle Lowry. Now, Kyle Lowry could honestly be getting traded very soon. Kyle Lowry, just like Jaylen Brown, a great defender. Kyle Lowry is averaging 18 points a game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 45% from the field, 40% from 3, and 86% from the line. And I feel like the entire Raptors team has kind of fell under the radar a little bit. Once they lost Kawhi, people don't really care about the Raptors anymore, but Kyle Lowry is still playing great this season. A great defender. I think still one of the most reliable point guards in the league. He's definitely a veteran. He's 34 years old, still playing great, putting up great numbers. And I definitely think him being traded to a contender would cause him not to be as underrated, just because Kyle Lowry's playing on the Raptors right now and they're not a title contender. If he goes to a different team that's a title contender, I feel like he could get a lot more recognition. And moving on to the number 7 spot, we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, Shai's been playing great this season. Honestly, I thought the Oklahoma City Thunder would have the worst record in the NBA this season. They definitely do not. They have a great young team on their hands. Of course, Shai is averaging 24 points a game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and a very efficient 51% from the field, 40% from 3, and 80% from the line. The one thing I will say though, Shai's been pretty inconsistent. Sometimes he'll drop like 35 points and it looks amazing, then he won't be aggressive the next game, have like 12 or 13 points, but still, Shai's having a great season. The Thunder have been a surprising team in my opinion, and yeah, I just feel like Shai's improvement isn't really being talked about that much, but Shai is definitely a great young player and he's gonna make all-star teams in the future for sure. Moving on to the number 6 spot, this might shock you, but it is Bam Adebayo. I would actually argue he was kind of overrated at the end of last season, like during the finals run. I thought he was a little bit overrated, but now I think Bam is being slept on once again. Bam is averaging 19 points a game, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, a great playmaking big. He's shooting 56% from the field. He doesn't shoot 3-pointers and he's shooting 85% from the line. Bam Adebayo's missed a ton of games. Jimmy Butler's missed a ton of games. The whole Miami Heat roster have been banged up due to protocols, injuries, all sorts of stuff like that. Bam has definitely taken a leap from last year, but it's certainly not a massive leap. He's still getting better and better every single year, and I definitely think he can make an all-star team along with Shai in the coming years. He's definitely a great defensive big man, one of the best defenders in the NBA. He has been shooting more mid-range shots this season, but I would like to see more 3-pointers as well. Maybe next season he'll develop a 3-point shot, but who knows. Bam Adebayo is still a great player, and he comes in at number 6. Moving on to number 5, we have Fred VanVleet, who currently plays along Kyle Lowry, probably not for long. I think Kyle Lowry will be traded, but on to Fred VanVleet, man. 20 points a game, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 40% from the field, 38% from 3, and 89% from the line. I think he is definitely one of the most underrated players in the league. Fred VanVleet has always given you great effort, another great defensive player. He's just a really good overall point guard like Kyle Lowry, undersized, but he still finds a way to get it done. He's just a really gritty player and can still drop 30 points on any given night. Of course, he was huge. He was such a big piece of that 2019 Toronto Raptors championship run. I really like Fred VanVleet's game, and I definitely think he's one of the most underrated players in the league right now. Moving on to number 4, we have Bojan Bogdanovic from the Utah Jazz. Again, Jordan Clarkson was on this list at number 10, and we have another Utah Jazz player right now. Bojan's averaging 16 points a game, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 43% from the field, 41% from 3, and 85% from the line. Now, I feel like a lot of these Jazz players are underrated just because they have Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert who really run the show, but also they have a great supporting cast around them, and that's why they have the best record in the NBA. It's not just because of Rudy Gobert, it's because of guys like Bojan Bogdanovic, Jordan Clarkson, all those guys, Joe Ingles. They just have a great supporting cast around them, and Bojan's having a great season this year. He was having a better season last year. Last year he averaged 20 plus points a game, but still another great season, and he's definitely one of the most underrated players in my opinion in the NBA, and I definitely think the entire Utah Jazz team is pretty underrated. I still don't know if they're legit contenders, but I definitely know the record is very impressive, and who knows, they might end up upsetting some teams in the playoffs, but we will see. Moving on to the number 3 spot, we have Malcolm Brogdon of the Indiana Pacers. Now, he is averaging 21 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists on 45% from the field, 38% from 3, and 90% from the line. Malcolm Brogdon is a great point guard for the Indiana Pacers, a very efficient point guard, of course, shooting 90% from the line, 38% from 3. Of course, he is a great player. I think he was a big loss for the Milwaukee Bucks a couple of seasons ago, and I definitely think he really isn't talked about that much, honestly. He's on the Pacers, not a huge market. He was on the Bucks, of course, a couple years ago, not a big market. He's not the best player on the Pacers. I still think Domantas Sabonis is the best player on the Pacers, but Malcolm Brogdon is definitely the second best player on that squad right now when healthy. So yeah, Malcolm Brogdon, definitely a great player, capable of dropping 30 points on any night in the NBA. And overall, just a really solid point guard for the Indiana Pacers that really just doesn't get enough praise in my opinion. Moving on to number 2, we have Chris Middleton. Now, this one might surprise you a lot. Chris Middleton is probably one of the most disrespected players in the NBA, one of the most underrated players in the NBA. Middleton's averaging 20 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists on 50% from the field, 43% from the 3-point line, and 89% from the line. He is on the edge of that 50-40-90 club, averaging 20 points a game, and also he's on a really good team in the Milwaukee Bucks, playing alongside Giannis. I don't know why, but I feel like I underrate Chris Middleton as well. When I think of the Milwaukee Bucks, I don't think as Giannis and Chris Middleton as a duo. I don't really know why. Make sure to comment down below. Do you guys think these guys are like talked about? Whenever I think of Giannis, I'm not thinking about like how great he plays with Chris Middleton and how good they are together, but I don't know. I honestly think more about Drew Holiday and Giannis as a duo, but either way, Chris Middleton, very slept on, very underrated, and he's definitely one of the most efficient players in the NBA. He's always almost in that 50-40-90 club. I think last year he barely missed it. He was a little bit off on the field goal percentage, but still very efficient, always a great player on both ends of the floor. And moving on to the number 1 spot, the moment we have all been waiting for, the most underrated player in the NBA, in my opinion, this season is Nikola Vucevic. Now, Vucevic this season is having a great season, one of his best seasons, probably his best season to date in his NBA career. He's averaging 25 points a game, 12 rebounds, 4 assists on 48% from the field, 41% from the 3-point line, and 85% from the line. He's just an overall great center, but he's on the Orlando Magic, not a great team. Of course, the Magic had Fultz's injury to deal with. They have Aaron Gordon. The Orlando Magic's best player is definitely Vucevic. He's having a tremendous season. He is so deadly from the 3-point line. His top of the key 3-pointers, that is like his shot. If he gets the ball at the top of the key for a 3, just count that as going in, because he hits that top of the key 3-pointer almost every single time. That is his spot for sure. I think he's definitely the most underrated player in the NBA, a great center. I think he might get traded soon, maybe not this season, maybe next season, but I would love to see Vucevic on a contender, because that would mean more people get to see how good he truly is, and maybe he wouldn't be so underrated if he was on a title contending team. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video on the top 10 most underrated players in the NBA for the 2021 season. Of course, we had Jordan Clarkson at 10, Jaylen Brown at 9, Kyle Lowry at 8, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 7, Bam Adebayo at 6, Fred VanVleet at 5, Bojan Bogdanovic at 4, Malcolm Brogdon at 3, Chris Middleton at 2, and number 1, Nikola Vucevic. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. And of course, guys, make sure to hit that like button down below That helped me out a ton. And if you guys do want to watch more of my NBA or NBA 2K videos, I'm going to leave an end screen right when this video finishes to 2 of my previous uploads that I think you guys would really enjoy. So have a great rest of your day, guys. It's been Story of Sam, and I'm out. Peace.